Why is everyone outraged? So I have a new book, Outraged by Kurt Gray. It's a book that is trying to explore why we fight over morality and politics and what can be done to find common ground. I came to know about the book from Adam Grant's list of books that he had suggested at the start of the year. I think books to look forward. And it's a pretty interesting read because this is a problem that I've been trying to figure out. Using social media, being part of conversations and debates within social media, when we communicate with people who are total opposite to what we think, why is it so difficult to find a consensus, a common ground? And why is it so difficult for us to, why is it that we always fight over things? It is not just about morality and politics, anything. Everywhere we are finding that same differences, and that differences, in one situation we have a difference of opinion, and that difference of opinion just spreads into even areas that we could potentially agree on. There are a few things that he talks about in the book, and I'll share what I understood, and I would really recommend you to read the book if you can. So the first part is morality. What is morality? And that we all have a different sense of morality, right? What is right, what is wrong? What I think is right and wrong is not necessarily what other people would think. And that's on an individual level. But even on a group level, there's a group think that morality, what people think right and wrong within one political group is different from what people think in other political group. And all the time I always think, because you ask a political group if what their interests are, what do they want to do? They want to do good. There's no political party, there's no group probably saying that we exist to harm people. Right? They all exist to make sure that tomorrow is a better day for all the people. And yet, they fight. How is it that everyone has pretty much the same goal, but they have to fight with each other? Not just politics, you talk about religious, non-religion, every group that is colliding with each other. And Kurt says it has to do with our feeling of harm. What do we think is harmful? And that was very insightful, because I never thought of that I'd say something is wrong because I think that is harmful. I think that is harmful for me. I think that is harmful for my loved ones. I think that is harmful for the society. I think that's harmful for the planet we live in. I think it's harmful. So my feeling of what is harmful is different from someone else's feeling of what is harmful. And we are always, and he talks about being predators, or were we being hunted? Were we a prey or a predator as evolution? We always think we were a predator, right? Because at this time we are in the top of the food chain or value chain and everything. We have a control over this planet on all other living beings, right? Except when we find ourselves alone in front of a tiger or a lion or something. Even at that time, if you have weapons, you could win. So we always have this feeling that human beings are predators. But he says that no, we are preys. There was a time that we were so afraid to get out because we don't know. Because we're not strong. Physically, we are not strong. We cannot fight many of the animals out there. If you were to fight with your dog, do you think you're going to win? Maybe there are some people who would win, but majority of human beings, when they fight with a dog, they're going to lose. So always that mentality as part of our evolution has been as a prey. So we look at harm, right? So our problem is always that if something is harmful, avoid it. So that feeling of what is harmful has been what is building our morality. That's how I understand when I read the book. Some other points is there's going to be trade-offs. If I feel something is harmful, someone else feels something else is harmful, then we have to be agreeing on trade-offs, because everything cannot happen, right? If we are very strong about certain things, we have to know what trade-offs are and how those trade-offs would benefit us as a whole. I think that's very important. Also, when we have a conversation with another group, we always think the other group is evil, it is stupid, they don't understand, and we are not evil, we are the good people, and we are intelligent, we are not stupid, we understand things good. That is the same feeling the other group has towards us. So we both have the same kind of feeling towards the other group. So we're not able to have a conversation. And we're always trying to win. We're always looking at everything as a fight. It's not trying to understand. If, take, say, Republicans and Democrats, or any two political parties or two groups which are fighting with each other for so long, there's never a thought that we should understand. There's always a thought of winning. And most of these conversations, most of these fights, there is the moment you think you want to win, you have to win, you've lost it. Because you cannot win one group's thinking that will not have a loss for someone else's thinking. So there's no win-win strategy. There's only something where we can understand each other. Because these are all human beings. So if you look, people switching sides over a period of time, right? What we thought was moral or what we thought was harmful at one part of our life, over a period of time, we find that, oh, what we thought was moral is immoral. What we thought was harmful is no more that harmful. So we are also ready to change our morality and our feeling of what is harmful and all those things. So if in our lifetime we are changing, why can't we for a moment have a conversation with someone who is totally against us or against our thinking, and try to understand what makes that person think the way they think? What is it? What is it that I can learn? Maybe there are areas that you can learn. And this whole concept of a super villain does not exist, is what Kurt says. But we position people, individuals, groups with a super villain kind of persona, that this is a super villain. So then what will happen is that people who are in our times, we connect them with super villains that we all agree on, right? So there are super villains from past. There are people from past whom we have agreed are villains or super villains. The majority have accepted that, okay, these are few people in history whom we can consider as bad people or super villains. Now, what you do is that you take someone from your opposite group and you're taking that person and relating that person to the super villain that we all agree. And in that process, but there doesn't exist something like that. There's no super villain. There are people having different ideas of morality and feeling of harmfulness, and people who want to win but not try to understand the other. And at that stage, facts don't matter. Because the moment I put out some fact or the other person puts out some fact, I'm immediately thinking that their fact are fake. And that's what the other person thinks. So at this stage, when you are not ready to understand one another, you're not ready to understand the other group, facts don't matter. So I think individually, when I was reading the book, I was trying to see how can I individually change. I might not be able to change the group. Maybe not being associated with any group would be the one step that can be taken. The other step is to always try to have a conversation, not a debate. Try to understand and not try to win. And don't take everything as a fight, everything as a conflict. There are different ways of thinking in this world, and I think it is our responsibility to try to understand. Outraged by Kurt Gray, interesting book. I would highly recommend that. At this day and time, especially with so much happening on social media and outside social media and in the society, I think it's very important for us to read this book, to look at the world differently, think about understanding and conversation than winning and debates. You guys take care. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.